There are moments in life when it feels like you're invisible, like all the effort, all the restraint, all the silent battles you've fought have gone unnoticed. But nothing about your journey has been unseen. Every time you held your composure when your world felt like it was cracking, every time you chose integrity over shortcuts, every time you stayed when walking away would have been easier, it mattered. Not as a test you were failing, not as punishment, but as preparation. The difficult seasons weren't random. They weren't evidence that you were forgotten. They were shaping you into someone who could carry what's ahead without dropping it, because what's coming requires strength, and not loud strength, not performance strength. Quiet strength, the kind that forms in lonely nights, in unanswered prayers, in the stretch of time where nothing seems to move and you're forced to rely on belief instead of proof. You've carried weight that reshaped you, disappointment that arrived just when you thought relief was close, loneliness that made you question if anyone truly understood your path, fatigue that settled deep in your bones because you kept going without applause, without guarantees, and still, you remained. You stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier. You stayed honest when compromise looked tempting. You stayed open when life kept giving you reasons to shut down. You thought maybe it was all for nothing. But growth doesn't always look like progress while you're in it. The unseen chapters build the strongest foundations. You weren't being delayed. You were being developed. The version of you from a few years ago couldn't have sustained what's on its way. Not because you weren't worthy, but because you weren't ready yet. You still searched for validation outside yourself. You still mistook chaos for passion. You still equated being wanted with being valued. But now, you know the difference. You've learned discernment the hard way. You've built resilience by walking through pain instead of running from it. You've discovered who you are without the noise, and that changes everything. What's ahead isn't just a reward. It's alignment. The connections that don't drain you. The opportunities that fit who you've become. The success that doesn't cost your peace. The relationships that don't require shrinking to survive. A life that feels honest, not flawless, not effortless, but true. And here's the beautiful part. When it arrives, you won't sabotage it. You won't question whether it's too good to last. You won't brace for impact. You won't grip it in fear. Because you've learned something deeper than optimism. You've learned your worth isn't tied to what you receive. It's rooted in who you are. And who you are now is someone refined by delay, strengthened by silence, softened by wisdom. I know you're tired. Holding on this long changes you. Believing without visible results stretches you. Waiting reshapes your heart. But exhaustion doesn't always mean you're failing. Sometimes it means you're right at the edge of a shift. There's a moment before breakthrough where everything feels heaviest, where the old chapter resists closing, where you question if you can take one more step. Take it anyway. Not to prove anything, not to earn what's coming, but because you're stepping into a season where everything you endured will finally make sense. One day soon, you'll look back at this chapter and understand why doors closed, why timing stretched, why certain people fell away. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. You weren't being denied, you were being aligned. And the shift? It's not far away, it's not someday. It's unfolding now, in the way you think differently, in the way you choose differently, in the way you no longer tolerate what once felt normal. That's how transformation begins, quietly. So here's what I want you to do. Claim it. Not as wishful thinking, not as desperate hope, but as certainty. Tell yourself, and mean it, that you are ready for the next chapter. Because you didn't survive everything just to remain where you started. You survived it to step into something greater. The best chapter of your life doesn't begin when everything becomes easy. It begins the moment you realize you've already become strong enough to handle it. And that moment? It's now. And now that you've realized that something inside you shifts, you stop asking, "Why was this happening to me?" And you start asking, "What was this shaping me for?" That question changes everything. Because when you understand that your struggles were building capacity, you stop resenting them. You begin to see that every delay stretched your patience. Every disappointment sharpened your discernment. Every closed door strengthened your self-trust. You weren't being buried, you were being rooted. There's a difference. Buried things are forgotten. Rooted things grow. And growth doesn't look impressive in the beginning. It happens underground, in silence, in pressure, in isolation. No applause, no recognition, just transformation. That's where you've been. You've been developing depth, the kind of depth that allows you to handle success without losing humility, the kind of wisdom that allows you to love without losing yourself, the kind of confidence that doesn't need to be loud because it's anchored. And here's what's powerful. The things you once prayed for are about to meet the person you've become. Not the anxious version, not the insecure version, not the version who would have accepted less just to avoid being alone, but this version. The one who knows when to walk away, the one who values peace over validation, the one who would rather wait for what's right than force what's almost. That's who the next season is for. So when things begin to move, and they will, don't shrink. Don't question it. Don't talk yourself out of what you've waited for. Receive it. Receive the love without suspicion. Receive the opportunity without self-doubt. Receive the clarity without overthinking it. You've already paid the price of preparation. You don't have to keep proving you're ready. And understand this. What's coming isn't about status. It's not about showing anyone you made it. It's about alignment. It's about waking up and feeling at home in your own life. No more chasing, no more convincing, no more forcing doors open, just walking through the ones that open naturally. You'll notice the difference immediately. Things will feel lighter, conversations will feel easier, decisions will feel clearer. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you're no longer fighting it. You're flowing with it. And that's the reward of endurance. Not just the external blessings, but the internal peace. So if you're in the final stretch of this heavy season, hold steady. The pressure you feel isn't breaking you, it's polishing you. And very soon you're going to look around at your life and realize something powerful. Nothing you went through was wasted. Not the tears, not the confusion, not the waiting, not the nights you questioned everything. It all built this version of you. And this version of you is ready. Ready to receive, ready to step forward, ready to live a chapter that doesn't feel like survival, but fulfillment. So lift your head. Your story isn't stuck, it's shifting. And the best part, you didn't just make it through, you became someone unshakable along the way. The next chapter isn't just better, it's aligned. And it begins the moment you decide you're no longer waiting for permission to step into it.